as Besigye shines in the ongoing university games. A very good evening to you watching UBC TV. Welcome to News Tonight. This 22nd of December 2017 with me, Michael Jordan Lukomwa, and Elizabeth Nakakoni as we start the Christmas weekend. In our first story, President Yoweri Museveni has advised National Resistance Movement mobilizers to aim at being financially stable and set an example to the rest of the people. The president was addressing a meeting of Busoga region leaders at State House in Entebbe. The delegation, led by Parliamentary Speaker Rebecca Kadaga, consisted of NRM cadres, widows of Uganda People's Defense Forces soldiers, Muslim women, Kamuli Dairy Cooperative Group, and Wankole Youth Group. We have it in detail.
The delegation was led by the Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honourable Rebecca Litwala Kadaga. Others consisted of the NRM cadres, widows of the UPDF soldiers, Muslim women, Kamuli Dairy Cooperative Group, and Wankole Youth Group. Mr. Museveni advised the elders to shift from old subsistence farming methods to new commercialized methods of agriculture to be able to cope with the era of making money. He also encouraged them to be calculative and think of using enterprises that can bring in more income that is greater than the expenditure. He also urged the people of Busoga to embrace the 4-acre mode of production, which he said would bring in more money compared to only growing maize and sugarcane.
In order to get rid of poverty, we must resolve the issue of enterprise selection depending on the size of land we have. With a small land, we should know that we cannot do this, we cannot do this, we shall do this.
The president advised the Wankole Youth Group not to despise farming because it is a good source of income and has the ability to make one rich.
But farming is a job. That's a real job. My real job is a farmer. Here I am a volunteer coming to help with the country.
General Museveni assured widows of UPDF soldiers that they are entitled to the pension payment of their late spouses. He promised to look into the matter so that they are able to access the funds due to them. President Museveni promised to contribute 30 million shillings to the Circle of Muslim Women Group in order to improve further their produce buying businesses.
But I could undertake to give each one of you 2 Frisian cows, 2 Frisian cows. And contribute 30 million to your circle.
I'm Dennis Blair Kalanzi in Kampala.
In more news, some opposition political parties have condemned the process through which Parliament passed the amendment of Article 102B of the Constitution and the 7 years term. Former FDC President, retired Colonel Dr. Besigye, in a combined statement at Katonga Road in Kampala, said that they have planned non-violent actions to restore defects of the 1995 Constitution.
Leaders from the opposition have faulted the process of amending Article 102B and passing the 7-year term for the President and members of Parliament, which is in a different article of the Constitution other than the Besigye Bill. This comes a day after the 10th Parliament passed the amendment of Article 102B of the Constitution on presidential age limit.
Specifically to amend Article 102B. It was never intended to open floodgates for amendment of all the provisions of the Constitution. We have settled cases on this, even amendment by infection, amendment by implication, amendment by this. All this has been interpreted by the Constitutional Court that it cannot stand the test of time, because if you are to amend the Constitution, you specifically bring a bill with a clear purpose, that is to amend a particular provision of the Constitution.
So 7 years extension is just not tenable. It isn't under the law. The contract between the current members of Parliament and the people who voted them was a vote for 5 years. 5 years. And this would only be an extension of this would be determined by an election
between the people and the members of Parliament. Once one of them absconds, you cannot say you still have the contract. So you do not have the powers to extend yourself for another 2 years. That is suicidal.
In a joint statement, the leadership of Forum for Democratic Change, Conservative Party, Justice Forum and JEMA agreed to come up with strategies to restore the Constitution, which they allege has been overthrown by the legislators.
That effect, preparations are already ongoing, and we would like all those who want their country to take a different path to prepare to start undertaking the necessary actions with effect from the 9th of January. Defense of the Constitution, we must also keep ourselves reminded, is not just on the age limit. Because the Constitution now means it's worthless. They can amend anything.
Retired Colonel Dr. Besigye says all members of Parliament who voted for amending Article 102B committed an offence as per Article 3 of the Constitution. On the other hand, opposition members have filed cases in different courts of law, including the East African Community Court, contesting the process of amending this article of the Constitution.
So I think part of the legal challenge should be on declaring those MPs who acted contrary to their people to be unfit to be members of Parliament, and therefore to order the High Court to chase them from Parliament.
Meanwhile, after passing the age limit bill, opposition anticipate that the land bill could follow a similar process. I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Gutabinji reporting.
Makerere University has warned its affiliate institution, Makerere University Business School, commonly known as MUBS, to pay for graduation requirements for 4,000 students expected to graduate during the 68th graduation ceremony of the university, slated for the 16th to the 19th of January 2018. The University Council gave a directive that unless Makerere University Business School clears the outstanding debt of 2.64 billion shillings accumulated from 2012 to 2016 academic years, the 4,000 students will not graduate with Makerere University. We have details to this as well.
The 4,000 students from Makerere University Business School could miss the 68th graduation ceremony, slated for 16th and 19th January 2018, because of MOB's failure to pay the graduation requirement at the main campus. Deputy Vice Chancellor, Finance and Administration, Professor William Bazeo says the 4,000 students have cleared with MOBs, but Mackay University has not received the required graduation fees.
Unless MOBs remit the funds for the students, because we are now demanding those who are Makerere students here to pay their portions to graduate. So unless MOBs remits the portions for their students, they will not appear in the book and there will be no graduation for them. And that is for all of them because they pay for their money in bulk. We do not know whom they have paid for.
The University Council also gave a directive that unless MOBs pay the outstanding debt of 2.64 billion shillings, these students should wait.
We are really talking about figures that we have reconciled, that this is what MOBs owes Makerere. In the last meeting which I chaired, the MOBs team said once we have agreed on the reconciled figures, we are going to pay. Unfortunately, they went back and did nothing until I think they were informed, no, if you are not paying, then the council decision, which was made 2 years ago, but we have been postponing it, not to graduate MOB students unless they have paid their fees, then the decision will now be implemented.
The Vice Chancellor, Mackay University, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe said that Mackay University has started a new strategy of marking exams from one central place. He says this will reduce on the malpractice that has been ongoing at campus before.
At least the centralized marking and also more strict invigilation will eliminate those problems. We also think that that will eliminate the problem of delayed marks, because once this is centralized marking and the timelines are set for people to go and mark, it means everybody must mark within that timeline and submit their results.
Joseph Buule, UBC News.
Luweero District Council has introduced an ordinance where all homes in the district will be integrated in the community health insurance sector. The council received the district ordinance for the first reading, and the next stage is consultation for the communities by the district health committee.
Under the community health insurance, individuals come together and form saving groups where they agree on the premium to be paid by each family to cater for their health care needs. The idea was introduced by Luweero district councillors to improve community access to health care by pooling resources. The idea was then tabled as an ordinance for the first reading and referred to the district health committee to collect views of the people.
This is an ordinance that seeks to have every individual, adult, youth or children access healthcare services without getting money from their pockets, but they will have secured that money to a service provider, and each time that person falls sick is guaranteed on the kind of service to access health care from that service provider he has been attached to.
Our people, they are poor. They don't access, they don't manage, they can't access health insurance, either or health services. That's why as the district we have decided to bring the district ordinance so that our people can get that health care.
Save for Health Uganda has already introduced some families in the community health insurance scheme.
What the council today is doing by tabling a bill, an ordinance to introduce it as a district community health insurance scheme, we think it's a very good step forward. Because what it means is that every resident in Luweero district now will be able to access community health insurance, and people will stop paying for health care directly out of their pockets.
Meanwhile, Luweero district will contribute premiums for vulnerable groups who are unable to pay. If this ordinance is passed, it will be compulsory for every family in Luweero district to belong to a community health insurance scheme. Michael Jordan Lukomwa and Adia Nakuti, UBC News.
Yes, welcome back from the break. We now go for business. In business, the long festive weekend has started, with business downtown Kampala hectic as thousands of people from the city travel to rural areas. At Namaiba Bus Park, buses plying regional routes to Kenya, Tanzania and the DRC were fully booked. Transport fares to various destinations within the country have hiked, although travelers seem not deterred. Dennis Igoa went downtown Kampala and he now brings us the picture there.
Gentlemen, just as I can see from Saibaba Express, because it's a season whereby we tend to have so many accidents, what are some of the safety measures you have put in place to ensure that people travel safely to wherever they are going and probably get back here in Kampala safely?
That's what we always do, and we're trying to avoid the accident. That's normal. Even those buses, they have two drivers to make sure they pass the way they're going should be the safe journey. So we have two drivers which can operate the bus until where they're supposed to reach the passengers. That's what we do.
A few minutes ago we were on the international or regional side. Now we have come down here where we do have the local, we'll say the buses that ply the local routes that's within Uganda. There is a gentleman next to me here who is also traveling. I can see he already has his bag ready. Yeah, I'm sure you're hitting the road to the village. You can tell me your name and where are you traveling to?
Actually, I am Richard Amone. I'm traveling to Gulu this afternoon. Already boarded a bus. I got my ticket, but the bus fare has increased. We used to travel to Gulu at 20,000, but these days is 30,000. I boarded a bus at 30,000 today, and I understand it is increasing by the day. Maybe tomorrow it's going to 35 or 40, I don't know. Yeah.
So what do you think about this? Because it is the same route, the same distance, but in the festive season you find that the fares have been increased. As a passenger, probably a frequent traveler, what do you think about this sudden increment of fare?
I think it's all about demand, because in business, the demand, you do with the demand. If the demand is high, you can also increase the price, you see? So prices increases according to the demand. People are there, people are moving a lot at this festive season. Majority of people are leaving the town and then they are going to the village to meet with some of their relatives to celebrate Christmas together.
So you're heading to Gulu. They say Gulu or Gulu?
Gulu.
At Namaiba Bus Park, and like we said earlier on, we're keeping you posted on the traveling this festive season. As you're aware, earlier on, we talked about there was news that came through that an accident had occurred on the Bombo Road, I think in Boyale, and there was a report that is a HMK bus and a few people, they might have had some casualties. So we're still trying to find out what happened, and we'll update you in the subsequent bulletin. I have a gentleman standing here next to me. I can see he's a bit mugged like me, so probably he's giving me a... Okay, fine. Yeah. How are you, sir?
I'm doing so. How are you?
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
so
right.
Maybe you can tell me your names and tell me which route are you traveling to? And have you seen any changes as far as the fares are concerned? Sure.
My name is Geoffrey, and I'm really right now I am on my way to Gulu, and I believe the road is really busy, and I think, as you can see, so many people are rotating around, and you know, it's a busy season. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So basically, you came here. I'm sure that you've heard about the issues of transport. Have you experienced it, like an increase in the fares, or you find it still the normal price you charge when you're traveling to Gulu any other time?
Just a little bit, not really so much, but of course, you know, people are traveling, and no matter what kind of, the amount you tell them, they will just,
yeah, sure.
Exactly, yeah.
So in the 2017, of course, they say that most of us city dwellers, like me and you, we tend to travel home only during the Christmas. Mm-hmm. Have you been traveling home in the course of the year, or this is the first time you're going deep in Gulu?
Actually, not really, but I'm just on and off in Uganda, so right now I've come for a Christmas break. Yes. So I want to go and see my own people in Gulu.
All right. Thank you so much. We wish you a safe journey.
All right.
You travel safely, arrive safely. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Be blessed.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
Great.
people are trekking to the villages, and we wish them a safe journeys to wherever they are going. We're coming back with more news. Business during the festive season is slow, and this time traders attribute it to inflation. Although this is a season where people expect to get a lot of customers and make abnormal profits, a few people are shopping, yet even KCCA enforcement has not spared the vendors.
This is Jesco Arcade in downtown Kampala. Kampala Capital City Authority enforcement officers are chasing vendors from operating in undesignated places. With only 2 days to Christmas, vendors have swarmed walkways and shop verandas to market their stocks. Those we interacted with around New Tax Park say business is not good. People are not buying, while others say some KCCA enforcement officers confiscated their products. Around Kwali Cell Shopping Arcade, youth were selling women's shoes and traders had different experiences of sales. Chikubo is one of the busiest areas. It had all been decorated with Christmas trees, balloons and disco lights. Traders dealing in these products attribute slow business to limited money circulation, their customers being low-income earners. Customers of Christmas products say they are affordable and prices are consistent with those of last year. This is a season of exchanging gifts, but mobile phone dealers have different sales experience.
I think now, why is it the inflation which has led me? Because now, people they are now concentrating on clothing, shoes, food stuffs.
I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Gutabinji in Kampala.
In sports, Ndejje University's march to the 4th National University Games and Sports title was a culmination of years of toil in pursuit of sports excellence. Since 2011, no other institution has got to the topmost podium position, as Sloat Ndejje University is now making the peers God-given.
Once again, as the stand-up for the champion and lyrics filled the air, it was from Besigye University that successfully defended the InterVarsity's crown for its 4th title from consecutive editions. Playing at home and on the occasion of the institution's 25th year of existence, the home side amassed 14 gold medals, 9 better than second place Uganda Christian University, while Makerere University Business School in third had 3 gold medals. The tournament has been hailed for improved performances in most disciplines and innovation that included beach handball on the rota.
Some of the universities that came did not have, most of the disciplines lacked either teams were coming without the female participation, the female teams, mainly having female teams. But on the whole, I think there was an improvement in the teams that participated.
Nkumba University, for the up-team time, won the ladies volleyball crown.
The promise is there, the quality isn't quite there, but what Ndejje has done, what Nkumba has done is that they have brought athletic players. They're quite athletic and they're promising. In 1 or 2 years, our national team will be very good. And it's very unfortunate that Uganda Christian University couldn't make it because they are the 3rd university that contributes to the national team. But what Nkumba has done, bringing up very athletic players, and Ndeja as well. The players are tall and they can be able to compete at international level in the near future.
The 2017 University Games attracted 17 institutions competing in 17 disciplines. Bad news though is that 9 of the 17, including Bishop Stuart University, Mountains of the Moon and Uganda Matters University in Nkozi, failed to win any medal. John Banza, Sentamo, reporting.
Still in sport, curtains have fallen on the 2017 All-Africa Schools Badminton Championship that attracted 12 countries hosted at the Empton Arena, Lugogo. Ultimately, after 4 days of intense action, Uganda's Brian Kasiri has emerged victor in the singles category after donning Mauritian Jean Bungutu by 2 straight sets, 22-20, 21-17. The Ugandan youngster is elated by his achievement, which he believes will help him attain further success, especially in the 2018 that has many international events.
Managed to win all the castles, my team was so it has been played in a semi-final up here from Mauritius. It's not my first time to play because I knew I can win. I played in Zambia, all Africa, and I managed to beat him 2 straight. So I knew it's there. My 2017 it has been a good year because I've not lost to anyone from Uganda. This tournament, one of the trials, although I lost in Zambia, Junior Zambia, and I lost on the semi-finals. But next year we have Uganda Open and Zambia. I'll be able to train very hard and I qualify for the Olympics. I know my supporters are supporting Mohammed. They also try to take me to abroad, Europe, so that I collect more points to qualify for the tournament. Because my ranking is too low for the junior team in Africa. I just pray to God so that next year I improve my ranking and be one of the best players in Africa.
UTI.
Yes, that is how we come to the end of news tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Michael Lukumwa, Elizabeth Nakakuni, and the whole team here wish you the best of this season, and we promise to give you more every other day. For now, have the rest of the night beautiful. Let's catch you in other programs.